see a lot of agents make assumptions that just because they have a lead on somebody, that they are automatically interested in and they're going to sell that individual. That is simply just not true. Welcome to the Final Expense Sales Academy, the hub for mastering the art of final expense life insurance sales. If you're looking to become a pro in the final expense industry, you're in the right place. My name is Kyle Williams, and I'm your host to go through the ins and outs of the final expense business, from tips to tricks to industry insights. We cover everything you need to close deals with confidence, provide true value to your clients, and become a better insurance agent. So hit that subscribe button. Let's get started on elevating your sales game one video at a time. Hey guys, in this episode, we are going to talk about how to door knock final expense leads. I see a lot of agents make assumptions that just because they have a lead on somebody, that they are automatically interested in and they're going to sell that individual. That is simply just not true. It still requires the agent to work a good process to have the best chance to get in front of that lead and make a good pitch to try to sell that client. So having a process to work leads is crucial. If you are a new agent, being taught by your manager their process is key. And if you are a manager, teaching your new agents your process is key. You have to be a teacher, and you have to be a learner and willing to learn if you are a new agent. And you have to have somebody that's willing to teach you if you're going to be successful. So the process of how you work leads will determine your success. So now the process doesn't have to be elaborate or elegant. It needs to be simple, easily duplicatable, and consistent. I'm going to give you the bare bones process and of a 35,000 foot view of what the process should look like. Okay, we're not going to get super granular, but we're going to zoom out, and that way you kind of have an idea of what it should look like. So there are 7 steps in the sales cycle. Now, I've covered some other videos on this. I'm going to drop a link here. You can go back and watch that. We'll go into further detail, but I'll just cover the brief overview of it. So the 7 steps of the sale are knocking on the door, or if you're on telesales, you call the lead, getting in the door, or if you're telesales, you get them on the phone, building rapport, presentation, pitch, close, and securing the deal. That is what your sales process should be like every time. As you go through the sale, it should be in that exact order. There's a reason why it's called a 7-step process, because you do one step before you go to the next. Because if you start skipping steps, you're going to start making mistakes in the sale, and it's going to make the sale inordinately harder. Now, let's get a little bit more granular. Here are some things to do. In your door approach in step 1, knocking on the door, and going into getting in the door in step 2, your door approach should be the same each time. So you should have the same door approach as you go to every door. You shouldn't be changing it, so that way you can just rattle it off your tongue and you're not umming and humming. You should also anticipate the objections that you're going to face and know how to overcome them. We face the same objections all the time. So I'm going to drop a link here, and I've talked about my door knocking script, and then also some basic objections that you can anticipate. So I'll drop that here. You can go back and watch that, go into further detail. Your presentation should also be pretty close to the same every time. This helps make sure that you cover everything and that you don't leave anything out. Last thing, something that's completely usually overlooked, is your routine should be the same each and every week. This helps get your mind in the right headspace, so that way you have the best chance to go out and be in the best possible moment, so that way you can serve the clients the best and have an opportunity to make the most sales. So now, the leads. You have to work every lead until either A, you sell them, they tell you no, I'm not interested, you attempt to sell them, and they say no. Otherwise, a lead's not closed out. So during your process, you have to work your leads appropriately. If they're not home and they tell you to come back later, keep coming back. It's not closed out yet. I see so many agents waste leads and miss opportunities just because they simply don't go back. So That is a bare bones 35,000 foot view of what the sales process should look like. We got a little granular there, but that is zoomed out what it should look like. There's a lot of intricacies that go into that, and your manager should be able to dive into that and get deeper in that. But that is what the sales process should look like. Pretty much every final expense insurance agent that does in-person sales, that is what it looks like of some form of fashion. So I hope you receive something valuable here. If you have any questions, comment below. Be sure to share it with your friends. Share it on social media if you receive something valuable. Be sure to subscribe so that way you catch all our latest content, and we'll see you in the next episode.